I don't know what's going on tonight, but whatever it is, I guess I need to get these messages out. So I'm gonna do it because they've been riding my head since I left from my last meeting today. Sometimes we want to blame everybody else for what we're going through except for the person to whom we look at in the mirror, right? Life throws curveballs to everybody. Every day is not going to be sunshine and roses. Some days you're going to have some ups and some downs, some ins and some outs, but it's not the problem, it's how you deal with the problem. And sometimes we get so caught up in the situation that we placed ourselves in that people that loves us or people that's concerned about us, we make them feel bad. We start badgering them. We start telling them what they're not doing, what you could have done to help me, and I needed your support, and I needed you to be there, and I needed encouraging words, and you didn't do this, and you didn't do that. That's deflecting. That's what they're called. That's deflecting. What you have to do is learn how to take ownership to how you arrive to the destination you arrived to. Period. If you allow somebody to come in your life and use you, don't take it out on the person who loves you, who's been there, who's been supporting you. Don't do that. It's not their fault. What we don't know how to do is sit down and have a conversation. And that's the perfect time to do it. Sit down and have a conversation and tell somebody, this is what I'm feeling. This is why I'm feeling this way. And what do you think? How can I get past this? Sometimes it's just a simple conversation. But instead of you being the person to take ownership to the weight that you're carrying, and the walls are closing in on you, and the room is getting darker instead of getting lighter. So now you're angry, your emotions, you all in an emotional roller coaster ride, and you're blaming all your temperaments and your fussing and your ups and downs, your emotion in the roller coaster ride on what you're dealing with, but then you want to deflect and make somebody else to blame for what you're going through. When are you going to take the time to take ownership for the situation that you placed yourself in, right? You knew what the person was like. You knew what the person was going to do or what they wasn't going to do. So why do we allow ourselves to be backed into a corner by people that we know mean us no good? I don't care who it is, family, friends, somebody you date, and somebody you're married to. I don't care who it is. Why do you allow people to bag you into a corner? If somebody has said or done something to you, that is the time to address it. Why would you hold on to it? It's not what you say, it's how you say what you say. They can either receive it or not. Now, if they don't want to change their ways, they don't want to listen, they don't want to get better, then you know what you got to do? You got to cut them off and cut them out of your life because they're giving you migraines and they making other people around you feel miserable, and they don't want to be bothered with you because your attitude stink. Bottom line. Nobody wants to be around anybody when their attitude stink. So what I do when I'm bad tempered, I say to myself, I don't inflict that on nobody because nobody needs to be subject to the mood swings that you're going through. And if it's something that you're going through, we're grown adults. We should be mature enough to come to the table and have an adult conversation. And when you sit at the table having the adult conversation, that is the time to listen and hear what the person is saying, not just watch their mouths move. There is some ownership. There is some accountability that needs to take place in relationships, right? The other person is not always the fault for your funky temperament. Sometimes you cause the other person, your friend and your family, somebody you dating and married to have a funky attitude because you gave out a funky attitude, and they didn't deserve that. So we have to think about not doing to people that we don't want it done to us. Treat people the way you would want to be treated, period. And again, it's all about conversation, talking to one another, not talking at each other, not screaming and yelling. You can't get a resolution when y'all screaming and yelling because all you see is words. And they're just going at each other. Ain't nobody hearing nothing. Ain't nobody listening. And the volume starts low and then it escalate high. When you can just sit down and have a conversation. I want to talk about this. How about we do that? We want to be adults, right? So be adult and wear your adult clothes and handle your business in the proper way. Nobody can read your mind. If you're having a bad day, say I'm having a bad day. If this is bothering me, say this is bothering me. If I don't want to do that, say you don't want to do it. Stop sugarcoating. Take ownership to your temperament. Take ownership to your attitude. Take ownership to your non-communication. Take ownership to your stuff, to your ish. That's what you need to do. And then everybody needs to come to the table and have a conversation. But what you should not do in the heat of the moment, you should not talk when you're angry. Walk away and say, let's revisit this later when everybody is calm. And then you can have a good conversation. And then you can hear each other. But stop blaming people for the mess that you created. That's your mess. So you have to clean that up. Whatever it is, clean up. But stop making everybody else the culprit, and the person you should be talking to, you don't want to talk to. So you deflect to the person who's been in your corner all the time. You want to make them feel less than, you want to make them feel bad. That's unfair to them. Hold your own bag of crap. It's yours. So you need to deal with it. You hear me? Deal with it. Fix it. Be the adult. It's time for you to step up to the plate. Don't talk grown, walk grown. Hear me?